Have you ever wondered how your personality might be linked to your sexual health? Well, I'm Dr. Rena Malik, urologist and pelvic surgeon, and today we're going to be talking about how certain personality traits are linked to the timing of your ejaculation. Now, premature ejaculation, or PE, is characterized by what's called an inability to control the timing of ejaculation, which often leads to dissatisfaction, distress for both you and your partner. And this is particularly common actually for a lot of men, with about 30% of men complaining of being what we call rapid ejaculators, but only 9% ever going on to seek treatment. While there is a clinical definition for PE, which is defined as ejaculating less than 1 to 2 minutes after penetration, really it's characterized by three main things. And these are: 1, a short intravaginal ejaculation time; 2, a loss of ejaculatory control; and 3, negative sexual consequences. Meaning that because of this, you're having difficulty having positive interactions with your partner or whomever you're having sex with, whether it's a casual relationship or a more serious one. These can be quite significant, leading to things like decreased self-esteem, self-worth, depression, and anxiety, and even sometimes, as you would expect, major relationship issues. But can dealing with premature ejaculation actually affect your entire personality? Well, interestingly, in a study published in the Journal of Sexual Medicine, researchers surveyed over 350 men who complained of being premature ejaculators. And they also had a control group of 252 men who had no real complaints in terms of ejaculation. Now, the researchers used sort of a comprehensive personality assessment tool, which was called the Temperament and Character Inventory, or TCI. And they use it to evaluate the participants' personality traits. And compared to the control group, again, the men who had no issues, men with PE had significantly lower scores in what we call the novelty seeking area. And typically, when you think of someone who's novelty seeking, you're going to find people who are looking for new things to do to really avoid boredom. And they're often more curious, more adventurous, and exploratory. So men with PE were low in that. They were also low in what's called self-transcendent personality traits. And what that is essentially the ability to see themselves as part of a larger whole. So what does that mean? Essentially, if you think about someone who's high in self-transcendence, they are generally more insightful, they may be more spiritual, and they're more generally accepting of life's ups and downs. And lastly, men with PE had higher harm avoidance scores, which meant that they tended to really respond intensely when they had aversive stimuli, which meant that they really tried to avoid any risky or uncertain situations. And these types of individuals tend to be anxious, pessimistic, and more cautious. So what does this really mean? This means that individuals who have PE tendencies tend to be a little bit more cautious, a bit more anxious, and less open to new experiences. But the story doesn't really end there. Does that mean that your personality leads to the premature ejaculation, or the premature ejaculation leads to the personality? Now, it's not clear, but there's a little bit more information that might help you understand this a little bit better. So the researchers in the study also looked at 4 essentially subcategories or subtypes of premature ejaculation. One was lifelong PE. These were guys who have experienced PE since their first sexual encounter, and it's been persistent. Others have acquired PE, and these are men who developed premature ejaculation at some point in their life, but previously had normal sexual experiences and normal ejaculatory control. Now, variable PE is exactly what you think it would be. Men sometimes experience PE and sometimes they don't, and they can control their ejaculation. And lastly, the most interesting group here was subjective PE. Now, this group of guys felt like they ejaculate too quickly. However, when you look at their ejaculatory latency time, it's within the normal range. Now, what is normal? Normal is between 5 and 6 minutes. And what that means is from the initiation of penetration to ejaculation, it takes about 5 to 6 minutes. And so in these subtypes, they found that personality profiles varied quite a bit across these different types of PE. For example, men who had variable PE had the highest harm avoidance scores, meaning they, again, tried to avoid really risk-averse things, and the lowest novelty-seeking scores, indicating that they are more prone to routine and less inclined to take risks. So this may mean that in these guys, maybe their personality is occasionally causing their premature ejaculation versus the other way around. On the other hand, men who had lifelong PE had the lowest self-transcendence scores. And this essentially means they have a greater sense of shame and embarrassment about their condition. And that makes sense too, because in our society, there's a lot of shame for men who are struggling with sexual dysfunction. They don't really talk about it with each other. They don't talk about it to their doctors. As you know, only 9% of those 30% are actually talking to their doctors about it. And so they're sort of struggling in silence. And so in these guys, I would suspect that their premature ejaculation certainly has something to do with the personality they've developed. Although again, I can't determine this based on this study alone. Now, lastly, guys who had acquired PE. These guys had the highest novelty-seeking scores, meaning they are more curious and open to new experiences, which is a good thing. So what does all this mean for you? I think really what's important to take home here is dealing with sexual dysfunction is so powerful and so challenging for people that sometimes it even affects your personality and other aspects of your life. Or maybe the way you approach life in some cases can affect your actions in the bedroom. So I think ultimately working on your body as a whole will affect you sexually as well as it does affect every other encounter in your life. So if you or someone you know is struggling with premature ejaculation, I strongly encourage you guys to seek help, not only from a urologist, but also from potentially a sex therapist or psychologist to sort of deal with the manifestations that maybe having a sexual disorder are affecting on your overall life. And remember, this is not just affecting your physical sex mechanics, it's affecting your personality, your emotions, and your sense of self. And these are all intertwined with your sexual health. And really what I want you to know is that if you are struggling with premature ejaculation, you are not defined by it. It is a treatable condition, and I've talked about it on this channel before. There are certainly a number of options that you can learn about that are available to you to help you last longer and reclaim your sexual confidence and find fulfillment in all aspects of your life, not only in your sexual life. You know, I always end my videos by saying take care of yourself because you're worth it, but not only is your sexual health worth it, but your entire well-being is worth it. So I hope you guys learned something and I hope you found this helpful. And if you are enjoying my content, please make sure to subscribe on the channel and share this channel with your friends. We need to start normalizing talking about sexual health. We need to start normalizing being able to be open to it and not being stigmatized or shamed for our issues, because you're not alone. And you can look at my channel as an example. People are desperate for this information. They need good quality sexual health education, and they're scared and they're getting caught in all these crazy, schemes to buy supplements or to take courses, when in reality, there is so much that's available that's evidence-based that can truly help you improve your sexual life and improve your overall life. So please subscribe, share this channel with your friends, check out my podcast, the Rena Malik MD podcast. It's available here on YouTube, but also on anywhere you listen to podcasts. And as always, remember to take care of yourself because you're worth it.